Good morning. It's me, Badri. And this is In-Thru The Window, a show where I talk to people I want to know more about with their experiences doing what they love. Today, I had the lovely Adria Hermione.
It's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
No, not that Hermione, but it is spelled that way though.
Okay, hi guys, I am Adria Hermione. Yes, my real name is Hermione, spelled with two E's. Baji and I together are Bajia. Super honored to be here today.
She was one of the streamers that was chosen to be in Scape's Pathway program.
Adria! Woohoo! Woohoo!
8 weeks of intensive mentorship where they grow up and coming streamers in the Singapore community. We did not get chosen though, but we did get into the streamer residency EXP camp. A 3-day not stay in camp where we got to meet other streamers in the community and learn from facilitators and panelists on how to better our own Twitch channels. And here is where I got to meet Adria. Well, at least on the last day. Technically, she came up to me. I wanted to talk to you on the last day because like I've always wanted to talk to you because you look very friendly. That's the word. I don't know why it caught my head, but I didn't get a chance. And the last day, like after the whole speech thing, I took the chance to like want to talk to everyone who I didn't talk to, and then you came up.
Baji. Oh my god.
No, but then you came up to me before I could come up to you.
Okay, for me, right, I think I feel like usually I would not lie to people. Like I won't give like false compliments. Okay, that's the very like baseline context.
Yeah.
So if I feel like I want to tell someone like an affirmation or something that I think they did so well in, even if I don't know the person, I will do it.
Oh.
Yeah. So to me, right, like what you said, like in the reflection, like I was like, I need to talk to this person. Like I just need to say like how freaking brave. Because exactly like to your point, right? Like for me, I could never ever understand like what an introvert or someone who is socially anxious goes through to speak, because I am so like noisy. You know what I mean? Like noise
right.
comes secondary. Like it's just like I'm like the whole time.
It's an interesting look on how both of us connect with that. Where there's a need to come up to someone in wanting to compliment them on something they did or something that they're proud of. I mean, that's the whole point of the show. But the difference between me and Adria is that she would not stop for anything until she had a chance to talk to that person and tell it to their faces. In contrast, I will wait till the whole day is over to send them a personal DM, hoping they appreciate my thoughts and not have forgotten what they did in the past how many hours. Adria thankfully gave me an advice on that front.
Yeah, I think we're very similar. But what I could say is that what made the difference for me was knowing that actually, right, like whatever the fear is that's holding me back, and this doesn't have to be like with things I'm comfortable with, like things I'm uncomfortable with, for example. Like if the end goal, right, is a positive, like a net positive, then it justifies the fear. Like that, I think was what helped me, like step beyond that. Yeah, so like for me, it's like if I'm nervous to like tell someone like, oh my god, I love your outfit, for example, and like she's like a freaking actress or something, and I'm like, oh my god, starstruck, like, But right, the net outcome is that, it might make her day. Like maybe nobody has said it to her yet, or like maybe she just really needs to hear that, right? Then like to me, like it justifies like getting over the fear of just going up to the person like, what's the worst that could happen, Like, just like, hey, like, I love your outfit, for example.
Changing the focus more to the outcome of the conversation instead of the hesitation is a much more easier way for me to get out there and talk to more people. And honestly, I've done that in the past. As recently as the EXP camp during the last days. After 2 days of not talking to a lot of people there, scared that they're too big or they're too busy talking to other people, I was thinking more about the outcome of me making new friends, and if I don't do it right now, I would probably never ever see them again. Think a lot of
I think
thinking
like
now.
it can become like a like it's an auto response now, you know what I mean? Because once you think it for the first time, then the next time you have that fear, right, there's an auto response. It's like, no, but remember that time we said like maybe it might be positive.
Mm.
Yeah, and
Like
it's
fake it till
okay,
you
then
make it kind of thing.
yeah, then it's like a teeter-totter kind of thing where it's like, ooh,
Outweighing the pros and cons of every situation is gonna be hard. But after the first few times of using that big forehead brain, it will become second nature to us. Now, after meeting new people, I personally have some sort of anxiety when it comes to maintaining those friendships. But Adra gave me some information that I gave my all to showing my appreciation to the people I've met through EXP Camp. I'm not putting in that clip just to show my own ego. She also talks about her own experience, where she had a friend that went offline and basically ghosted her for 6 months.
like I remember I had a friend. So I have a friend. Sorry, she's still like a really really good friend of mine. And she disappeared for 6 months. Like she literally stopped texting me for 6 months, and we used to talk like every single day. And like at the start of that, I was like super like worried because I was like, oh my god, is she like doing okay? Is she like what's going on in her life? You know, and like every time I try to ask her, so she like didn't reply me, and like she used to reply me a lot. So I was like, oh my god, like where is she, what is going on, you know? And she also is the kind that barely uses social media, so I couldn't even get like updates on her life like from other platforms other than her. And like when she finally like came back to talk to me, right, like in my head I was like, why you like disappear for 6 months, you know, like how could you not say anything? And like she did say like, oh yeah, you know, I could have been better at communication, but at that in that 6 months I felt like I just didn't have the mental like capacity to reply anyone. And I think like after talking to her about it, like I wasn't angry, I was just so worried that something had happened. But like I think after like understanding from her, right, it made me like change my perspective on like truly like time is really a social construct when it comes to friends. Because if the friendship is like important to both people and they're meant to be, right, it will sustain anything, you know? Because like I think like you can never know like what the other person is going through, regardless of what you think you know about the person, you know? And sometimes they could really just be going through like a super hecking rough time, and like that is like very very okay. Like if they need their space, they need their space, full stop, you know? Like you don't always have to be a part of it, and you can be supportive even without being a part of it by understanding, by giving her that space, by so many other things.
And yeah, even as an extrovert, having friends does give some hardships. But Adria learns to give her friends time to have her own journey in life and, you know, to be her own main character. With that too, I realized by being introverted myself and not giving friends a way to show that we still care about each other has to hurt them in some sort of way, being an extrovert or an introvert.
Yeah, so for me also, like I think when I graduated, I really had to like make, like I cal a lot, like I calendar a lot. So I had to like make sure that I ask people out, and like when people ask me out, I'm like, okay, if I don't reply you, right, it's not because I don't want to reply you, but because I want to make sure I don't miss your message and I don't forget that I need to like make an appointment with you to hang out. Yeah, so these are small things that I do to make sure that I don't forget the people I'm meant to hang out with or call. You don't like, I think in terms of like what Juju said just now as well, like the situation and the environment, so you don't necessarily always need to like go do amazing activities. For me, what I love to do, I love to co-work with people. So sometimes when I'm like working at night, like I'll just like bump a friend, like, hey yo, I haven't seen you in so long, you wanna like co-work sometimes? You can like sit in Discord and like just keep each other company, like quiet company while we both do our work. That to me, because my love languages are quality time and physical touch, so quality time is a big thing, and to me like that is considered spending time, like good time, like it's one-on-one time, you know? So I think as much as like, I think it's difficult to keep like meeting people physically all the time and stuff like that, but if you have friends that are, you know, like they work from home, they're comfortable, you can also suggest these things. Or like maybe like in between your work day, if you and another friend like both work in town, then it's like, hey, you want to grab lunch, you know? And so instead of going with your colleagues, it's like I can go with like my friend instead. Yeah, so it's like these small things. It's understanding what their love languages are, whether quality time like makes the cut, whether it's gifts, whether it's like, I think all of these things are important. I personally love giving all because I just love to give like affection. But for me, it's like quality time. So I like spending time with people. But to other people, it's like sometimes I know that they enjoy like letters, right? So I write them like letters, like, and I'm like, hey, I have something to pass you. And then on the way to work, it's like, can we meet somewhere? And then I pass them, I see them for 5 minutes, give them a hug, and then leave.
Oh.
But then like for them, the letter is so important already, you know? Yeah, so I think it's like understanding like where your friends are at, what they enjoy.
So showing few gratitudes of care, like giving them gifts or grabbing a lunch with them, or even just asking to be a call with them while you both work. With different people, there are so many different ways you can show how much you care for them as a friend. Also with that comes how you perceive being active in the relationship.
But I think understanding as well like how the two people in the friendship or relationship are changing as people, priorities wise, what you're focusing on is also very, very important. So I think similar to what I shared just now about the like my friend like disappearing for 6 months and then like us understanding each other better after the entire situation, right? I think it's important that you guys are on the like two people are on the same page with regards to the friendship when you are trying to be active. So because let's say for me and like Baji for example, like Baji is super quiet but I'm like damn extroverted. Like I want to hang out like all the time, for example, like I want to hang out all the time, right? But then Baji is like, to him I hang out once a month, right? It's enough for like half the year already, for example. So it's like to Baji, right, like him being active could be like, hi AJ, I want to hang out in February. But then to me, like let's say it's Jan, right? Now I'm like, huh? You want to hang out in Feb? Why you don't want to hang out like next week, you know? So like even though we have our own ways of like being active, right, you need to like set that kind of like like that boundary or like that baseline where you understand like, okay, I know Baji is suggesting this. I know Baji is suggesting to meet once in like 6 months because to him that is enough. But that one time for him, right, is already very telling that he cares about me as a friend. But to me, it's like, oh my god, I didn't know that because I usually ask people to hang out like every week, for example. So it's like, even though you're active, right, you need to like establish like what is active for both sides, you know?
So try your best to understand your friend's active meter. You'll never know if you're giving too little or even too much. But in conclusion, being an extrovert and an introvert is almost one and the same. It's just a different way of navigating through those social situations. And how much thought we put into these interactions till it's second nature to us. But the most important thing to realize is to be calm and think about the better outcomes of what to do in that situation. And that applies to a lot of things, be it talking to a stranger that you can be friends with or how to maintain an active relationship with someone as a friend. Use your big brain for that. That was just what I've gathered personally from that long conversation we had together live on Twitch at Badri's board.
I'm getting my specs.
Rom chill.
Rom chill.
Rom chill.
Everybody,
He's in the wall.
He's in the goddamn wall!
Good.
Adria,
Good job.
Adria, I have no idea what you just said because my alerts keep blasting into my eardrums. Yeah, that was live. So if you want to join us on our next podcast and send in the questions or just want to watch the full conversation with each other live, join us on Twitch. And also join my Discord to find out when's my next stream, because I usually post my weekly stream schedule there. So yeah, links in the description as always. But don't worry, even if you miss the live stream, the whole conversation will be posted on this channel with this video. So check it out after and infer your own learning points from our almost 3 hours talk. And again, please do check out Adria Hermione on every platform, Instagram, TikTok, and especially on Twitch, because you will not be disappointed with her community.
What is that? Wait. Oh my god, I'm going to kill Dubs. Did you make this? Dude, my mods work way too fast.
It's
okay?
amazing. I love communities that makes edits like this. I love it.
I'm going to. Oh my Dubs, you watch out. I understand me, not. You watch out.
It's cute. And here's Past Badri to sign us off. Thank you, Adria, for joining me in this lovely talk. It was a very not that very long of a talk, even though it's like 3 hours. It doesn't feel like 3 hours. So
Right.
thank you guys for joining me in this video. If you like it, please subscribe and please like the video and share it with your friends. And if you like our guest more, please follow her on everything. Adria Hermione in everything, right?
Yay.
Yeah. It is her real
Thank you so
name.
much, Badri. My entire chat is saying thank you for having us, Badri. We really, really
Thank
appreciate it.
you. Thank you, guys. She was one of the streamers that was chosen to be in Scape's Pathway program. Finally. And learn from facilitators and panelists on how to better our own Twitch channel. Twitch channel. But the difference... Whoa. I would probably never ever see them again. Ever. Because we're in... No. Outweighing the pros and cons of every situation is honestly gonna be hard. Outweighing the pros and cons way of navigating through those social situations. Social situations is such a hard word to say. Use that big ass you have. So yeah. Links in the description.